Hello, my name is Lou,
I'm Katie.
and you're listening to Files from the Other Side. This week, we're opening the files on
Demonology.
demonology is where it's at. I think we're going to have fun with this one, actually.
This is going to be a wild ride. This is going to be fun.
I feel
I
like
had a lot of
maybe
fun.
I'll be sad for sure.
You have a horrifying story that you're telling. So, yeah.
Well, kind of. I haven't decided full on yet what we're going to talk about, but we'll see what happens during the episode and wax from there because
Play it fast and loose.
yeah, exactly.
I
That's how
love
I
it.
have to do it. I have to keep myself in a light laughter type of situation with all this stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, where do you
It's
want to
fair.
begin?
At the beginning, probably. Because we were
The beginning.
at the beginning. I mean, actually, the beginning of, time and, religion and, all that good shit. Because was wondering, that's where my brain went, of course, is I was like, where do demons even, come from? Conceptually, why do they exist? Why do we know about them? And so I wanted to, look into those logistics, basically. And I came across this great article by this guy, Ed Simon, and he wrote, one line in the article, he says, "A history of demonology is by necessity a history of the world." And I think that's fucking true because of my favorite piece of writing ever in all of literature, especially at least in American literature, Chapter 34 of East of Eden.
Okay.
This is what I kept going back to as I was researching and trying to figure out. Because at first we were like, is it Christian in nature? Is it blah, blah, blah? And I was like, no, Buddhists have concepts of demons like that. And that predates Christianity. So it's like, how far back does it go? Is it Zoroastrianism?
Right.
Because of what my main man, John Steinbeck, says right here. "I believe that there is one story in the world, and only one, that has frightened and inspired us, so that we live in a pearl-white serial of continuing thought and wonder. Humans are caught in their lives, in their thoughts, in their hungers and ambitions, in their avarice and cruelty, and in their kindness and generosity too, in a net of good and evil. I think this is the only story we have, and that it occurs on all levels of feeling and intelligence. Virtue and vice were warp and woof of our first consciousness, and they will be the fabric of our last, and this despite any changes we may impose on field and river and mountain, on economy and manners. There is no other story." There is no other story. That's it, man. We only have the struggle for good and evil within ourselves, which is what all of Zoroastrianism is based on. But that's the second oldest, actually, occurrence of demons and where they originated from. The beginning is the Gala or the Galu, who inhabited the underworld from Sumeria, Texas. This is 3500 BCE. We got our first mention of demons.
Okay.
We have the Asuras in the Vedas, fought the Devas. This is old school Hinduism right here. That's 1700 BCE. Zoroastrianism, which I talked about, 1100 BCE. I reverse the names of the Vedas. So the Ahura is this supreme god, and the Devas are actually the false gods in Zoroastrianism. Oh my god. This article I read mentioned the Shadim, which is from around 950 BCE, which is a Jewish... They say it's a Jewish demon, but I'm like, Jews don't have demons? There's no conception of hell or heaven in Judaism, or not a unified one. There's parts of literature and stuff that have... That's my little baby. Oh, baby.
He's so cute.
He's so cute, but he's being annoying, so now he's going off the desk.
We've got a cute little vision of his face. I'm so glad.
That little face. Yeah. There's no where for demons to go or be if you don't have a conception of heaven or hell, right? The Shadim is actually not demons. They are just the gods of other tribes. They're literally, Shadim is just not Adonai. I love this one. The lords of Xibalba, 250 BCE, ruled over the Mayan underworld. Xibalba meaning the place of fright. It's great. So then there's the Oni in Japanese folklore, which are from like around 550 CE. There's the Aoguai from Chinese hell around the same time. The Fomorians from Irish mythology. These guys are like giants and sea raiders. They have like goat heads or horse heads and shit. The ZZ Middle? Seat Middle? Aztec skeleton demons. And their whole thing is that they wait until the gods and humans can't keep order in the cosmos, and then they kill all the humans. And then we got...
I feel like that's actually a traditional demon story, though. That's what the end times reminds me of all the time. Or that's what you're like... I don't know.
That's
Maybe
funny.
It's just me. Maybe it's just me.
No. I love that you say that. Like, I don't think I've ever heard that, but I also don't study, like, I've also very specifically studied, like mostly, like, Christian demonology, right? Haven't done much in the way of Islam. There was an Islam demon part, and I just completely skipped it in that article, because I was like, I can't even, the shaitan, I can't even get into.
It's reminding me, here's where it's coming from, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah! There we go.
It's coming to me. Because that's what happens, like, the hell mouth is supposed to open, and all the demons, vampires come up and eat all of humanity. You know, it's like a trope.
Okay. I fuck with it. Yeah. And then my last little set of demons from, I'm gonna put this out there and say it's about the same time as the ZZ Middle, around 1200 CE, because, fun fact, Norse mythology was never written down before Christianization of, the Nordic countries. I mean, that's what kicked off the Viking Age, was the monks came and they were like, the Norse hated it that much that it started the Viking Age. But the Jotnar fire giants who lived in Muspelheims, and they are the destroyers of the 9 realms in Ragnarok. So yeah, lots of demons from everywhere. Everywhere's got demons, except for, again, Judaism, because there's no hell. But one thing I did while studying some Jewish demonology, Isaiah 14:3-20 mentions the defeat of a Babylonian king, to whom it gives the title, meaning morning star in English.
Morning star, isn't that the name of Lucifer?
Yep. That's where we get Lucifer from. Lucem Fere in Latin. But he was an actual Babylonian king in the Tanakh, as far as the Tanakh is concerned. But Christians run with that one.
That's fascinating to me because of later some facts I'll tell you about.
Get into it right now. I mean, I have a bunch of random ass notes from everywhere.
Yeah?
That I can just keep. I can just throw on. We can pepper it in. It's fine. We took you through the timeline.
I researched possessions and exorcisms, not generally. I did a specific case because I think that this case is, it's tragic, but it's also very indicative of the conversation I want to have around demons, possession, and other things. So Anneliese Michel or Anneliese Michel or Anneliese Michel. Michel. I don't know. That sounds Italian. It's German, so I feel like it's Michel or something like that.
It's probably Michel.
So Anneliese, I'm going to say Michael because I'm American. Anneliese Michel was born in Germany in 1952. In her teen years, she was experiencing seizures, diagnosed in psychosis and with epilepsy and depression. She got older and became worse with her symptoms, developing an aversion to religious objects and suffering from her delusions. At a certain point, her family becomes convinced that she is possessed by a demon and calls the Catholic Church in to perform an exorcism. Her family stopped her from seeing any more doctors once the priests were called in to do the exorcisms. So she was taking a bunch of medications, seeing the doctors, and they stopped it. Her mom even claims to have witnessed stigmata. And,
oh, shit.
Anneliese's ability to converse with Mother Mary of Jesus. So she was able to, like, before they claimed that she was possessed, she was communicating with these things. And all in all, a total of 67 exorcisms were performed on Anneliese. Often lasting 4 hours at a time, performed several times a week. She, at the end of her life, refused food and died of malnutrition and dehydration. Her parents and the priests later were convicted of negligent homicide after the trial on Anneliese's behalf. The priests escaped these trials with only to pay some fines. But the parents were found guilty, but under German law left unpunished because they had, quote, suffered enough. It was some, like, German penal law. I don't know. It was something. The defense attorney also this is the most interesting part. The defense attorney who defended the Nuremberg trials also defended the parents. That's so weird to me. That's so weird. I mean, it's like maybe Germany is a small place and there's only so many lawyers famous for lawyering, but I don't know.
That's wild.
It is wild. And
like, he was the main defender?
Yeah, he was their main defender. His name's like Eric something Lichten something.
Something real German.
Yeah. And
that's...
So this is why I wanted to hearken to your thing. So on the Wikipedia page, which sources a lot of stuff, but it doesn't source this particular statement about the case. It says, Adolf Hitler is one of the demons that speaks through Anneliese, including Judas, Cain, Lucifer, and Nero. And the
Nero,
reason
like
I
Emperor
say that that's
Nero?
Emperor Nero, which is why I found it fascinating that you said that there was a leader who was named Morningstar, and then Morningstar is where we got Lucifer from.
Mm-hmm.
And they essentially did the same thing to Nero, because Nero isn't traditionally a demon. He was an emperor. He's known as the Emperor.
Yeah, he was the emperor that, like, like, the urban legend is that he, like, was fiddling while Rome burned or something like that. I mean, he was crazy and, like, a bad emperor.
So, I don't know. I found that weird that you even said that thing about the Emperor and then the Morning Star, because Lucifer's also quoted as being one of the demons that she's able to speak as. And also, Adolf Hitler is named as a demon here, too, which is German as hell, but also weird, because the Roman Catholic Church... So here's the thing, is there's no citation on Wikipedia for these statements. And there's source material written by Felicitas Goodman. She's an anthropologist from the U.S., and she writes on Anneliese Michel in 2005. But in terms of her credibility, I couldn't say that she's a good informant on the issue, but she did gather from some of the interviews, case files, and videos of Anneliese. So I don't know that it's there. Like, that's where they got that from, is that book. But I'm not sure, like, why that's stated so specifically on Wikipedia like that. And I looked through a lot of other articles to try to see if they named any of the other people that she had, either her parents or her herself had spoken as. But I couldn't find anything specific except for this book by Goodman. But anyways, later in the 1900s, like, I don't remember actually what year it was, but German bishops retracted that she was possessed and instead misidentified her mental illness. Her mom died, though, saying that she'd done the right thing by exorcising her daughter because she'd witnessed the confirmational religious signs.
Yeah, like aversion to holy things, the
stigmata. She said she'd seen the signs of Christ or something.
I thought... Now I'm curious about the stigmata thing, because I thought stigmata was like a sign that you were close to Jesus, but also apparently you can get possessed if you're close to, like, the closer you are, the more susceptible you are to possession. Like...
I couldn't honestly tell you, because I didn't research specific stigmata, and I haven't really seen anything other than that movie Stigmata with What's her butt? Do you know who I'm talking about?
No, because I have no way. Nope.
It's a good movie, actually. But she starts to become essentially possessed in the movie.
Interesting.
I like where you began with demonology, and I actually had another thing about it, and maybe it will help our conversation about that question, which is just like what's the difference between being possessed by a demon and being too close to something else or whatever.
Like her, was she possessed by demons, or was she actually epileptic with psychosis? Or was it both?
Really anything else?
Like, was she epileptic and also legit possessed by demons? Dude, the not eating thing, like the malnourishment, is where I come back to with Anneliese every time. Is I'm like,
I mean, there were more horrific tales of what she was consuming and not consuming. And like, there's pictures on the internet of this woman who suffered so harsh conditions. I really feel for this woman, and I want to tell you why in a second, but I want to read this part. Please. So this is a book of mystical and paranormal experiences. It's an encyclopedia. Ooh. It's sick. It's so cool. And I looked up demon on here. And the second paragraph on the entry says, demon means replete with wisdom, which is derived from the Greek daimon, divine power, fate, or god. To the Greeks, daimons were intermediary spirits, including those of deified heroes between humankind and the gods. A daimon acted as an advisory spirit.
Was that the Greeks used daimon to refer to gods, especially minor ones, intermediate, supernatural, and they were seen as good, or at worst capricious, and you just had to make sacrifices to mollify them.
So what I've read out of my research with the daimon is that the daimon isn't necessarily a god or a demon, but it is, like it says in the entry, an advisory spirit. The tale of, what's the guy's name? I don't know if you know this tale, but he dies on a battlefield, and they think he's dead, but he's not. He experiences a near-death experience, and then he's like saved later, but he ends up being dead enough to see the underworld or go through his afterlife or something like that, and he meets his daimon. And what he essentially, and this is like an old Greek philosophic tale. I'll have to look it up later, but he essentially tells this tale about how he meets his daimon, or he like realizes, it's like he realizes that you get to choose your daimon and you get to choose your life, and it's like you're saying in the beginning, it's neither good nor bad. It's just, these are the choices you get to make based on where you're at in the underworld or the afterlife or whatever it is, wherever he describes being. But that's where the idea comes from, is this like Greek literature. It's Platonism, I believe. And
totally.
Anyways, he comes back and he like tells the tale. He's like, this is what the shit is under there. I almost died. Truth, like this is the truth. And I've always liked the concept of the daimon because you don't have to know who it is. But I hear that the more you get in touch with your true self, your spiritual self, your whole self, not just including the spiritual part, that you can contact your daimon, and it's like experiencing God, but it's like also the wholeness of the self, like knowing what you're supposed to do, what your purpose is, and where to go in life, and you just kind of cling on to the spirit as like your own choice of how you live your life. And that includes mistakes, that includes, malintent that you have throughout your life. It's all of it. But not only does this spirit watch over you, but you can communicate with it directly to help guide your life toward the path that the daimon and you have agreed upon prior to your birth. I may have botched that a little bit, but here, let me ask a question, see if we can connect this again. Do you think demons are real?
Yes.
Do you think...
No, you ask your next question.
I had a follow up for that one.
Great. Do the follow up. Yes, I think demons are real.
Do you think demons can possess you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I, you know, yeah, I think a demon's possessing me right now, fucking with my goddamn uterus, trying to fucking kill me. I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding. Fun fact. No, I think that like demon, like I think that my own anorexia was a kind of a demon that I was possessed by. You know, fucking, I didn't eat a meal in April of 2017. Like, that's not normal human behavior. Like, is it as...
Did we have a demon in our house, though? Were we together in 2017, right?
No, yeah. I had it, well, at the end, yes, we were. At the very, very end. But I came to live in Massachusetts at the very end. It was like the 28th of December of 2017. I remember the exact date I moved there.
I was gonna say, if we were together, maybe it was our collective demons.
Our collective demons.
Or the demon of Massachusetts that said, "Fuck y'all, get the fuck out of here."
Fuck all y'all. Dude, Massachusetts, all the devils are there. I swear to God.
Full offense to everyone from Massachusetts.
I mean, I don't know. I still love me a masshole, but like, I remember those boys. The boys were all telling stories about like their various DUIs and blah blah blah, and I was like, "Is drunk driving just like a sport to you guys out here?" And they were like,
"For real."
No, that's what they were like. They looked at each other like, "Yeah, pretty much." And I was like,
"Oh my God,
I hate all y'all." Full offense.
Well, okay, so let's connect the Anneliese Michel thing to the demon thing, because here's what I want to address, and by no means are we A, therapists, or B, going to solve a world huge philosophical crazy issues.
Hey, so don't sell us short.
I don't want anybody to have unrealistic expectations of what we're capable of.
I do love managing expectations. I think we have it in us. Are we going to do it right now? Probably not. On this Thursday night at 7:30? Probably not. With my 5 pages of notes?
Meh. Yeah. Well, so I have been in psychosis before, much like Anneliese. I have been delusional before, much like Anneliese. I've experienced a myriad of things, much like Anneliese. But I was able to come out of my psychosis because I relied on the medical system, the medicine, the therapy, everything like that. Nor did I ever believe, or was I ever told, that I was possessed by demons, by the way. Like, that was never a narrative that was sold to me, nor did I take that juicy pill of believing that I was possessed. I also don't think that I would be somebody who would want that to be my narrative, even if I thought I was capable, or like that could happen to me, because at the point at which I had experienced a psychosis in my life, I was coping with other things, but like religious trauma wasn't the biggest trauma in my life at the time. I think that it contributed to a lot of what happened to me, because my entire life I was forced into a disgusting version of Christianity that doesn't make sense, and that terrified little kids into believing they were going to hell, or that like these things were like so real they should watch out for them on a daily basis with other people, stuff like that. And I also want to say it's not my parents' fault holistically about this. I literally think it's like the church leaders, like the things they taught us in that church were terrifying.
Yeah.
All the churches I went to was terrifying.
I mean, it's like, I was raised Catholic, and like, I mean, got used to it pretty right. But like, it's kind of like eating the flesh and blood of a human. Like, that's gross and cannibalistic. Like, come on, like, that's terrifying. Like,
yeah, like I felt like my religion was more like trying to get us to start the end of the world and be there at the end of the world. Like, it wasn't about like
Wait, your church wanted to, like, be the instigators for the fucking rapture?
Like, weren't opposed to it. Like, they were like, it's gonna happen, and it's probably gonna happen soon. Like, almost like pushing the propheticness of the rapture. Like based on everything we see in the media nowadays, it's probably gonna happen soon. Like,
I've crunched the numbers, and today's gonna end.
Yeah. Well, I remember in 2012, dude, everyone was
Oh, right. Oh, my God.
on their fucking shit, dude.
Forgot about
They were like,
that.
it's the end of the Mayan calendar year. Okay, what does that mean for Christians?
Yeah.
Apparently, it was supposed to be the end of the world and a total apocalypse. And here we are in 2024.
12 years later.
And I'm alive. My cat's screaming.
Yeah, I just heard that
She's
one.
like, I'm not alive. I'm hungry. She's fine. Proof of life. I'm sorry. At this time of night, I have no sympathy for these jabronis. I swear to God.
I love that you call them jabronis. That's truly, I'm so happy that that word is back into my repertoire, because it hasn't been since we lived in Massachusetts together.
Anyways, I think my question was just like, what would you say about, let's say there's like, it's just like a random person, nobody we know, but like they're like, I am possessed by demons. Well, what's going to happen to them? And
I mean,
what should we do?
I watched the BuzzFeed Unsolved episode about Anneliese Michel, whatever the fuck. And whatever priest that they talked to, well, they were saying like that it's he has like a team of psychologists and stuff like that. Like, I want to honor that, because that's a big thing that Ed Simon said in his article, and I want to read everything that man's written now. About like, he's like, the way that we talk about, like, he's like, are they real? Like, can we measure them? No, but they have had influence on people's experiences of the world, either through traumatizing church experiences, horrifying, like, actual possessions, whether or not she actually was possessed. I believe in her. Like, I believe she might have also had epilepsy, though, and should not have stopped taking her medication. Like, maybe that was also a thing. I think that you have to, like all self-care, you have to approach it from as many angles as you possibly can.
I mean, I think her parents demonized her. I think her parents, because, like, in the end, she was saying things like, I'm repenting for all bad priests and the youth of the world. I think she was convinced at some point that she was not a good person. Like, I bet there was some family psychological trauma that was not addressed in that situation. They were like, no, my daughter has epilepsy. No, she's depressed. There's something wrong with her.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this is still how we deal with mental health illness.
Yeah.
It's about the self. It's never about a community or a communal responsibility to the person. That's why we have things like homelessness and drug abuse that leads to things like homelessness, because instead of being like, this is a communal effort to practice care-centered wellness, instead we're like, nope, you need to go check yourself into a hospital, be alone, and
here's some medication to zoink you the fuck out so you can't even experience anything human, like any feelings.
As someone who's gone through it, and I'm not saying demon possession, what I'm saying is like psychosis and bipolar disorder and all this other stuff I've been through, okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't work like how you think it's supposed to work. Like, I've had to do so much shit on the back end that my medical system will never pay for. And it makes me fucking angry. And am I crazy for that? No. But do I blame demons for it either? No. I just think, like, maybe the point of, like, the story of the world is, like, it's what we said in one of the beginning episodes. I don't remember which episode it was. Maybe Ghost Armies. If the world were better, like, LOL, I don't need therapy. I need major societal change. That's both. Like how I feel right now.
I need both. I need problems. I need anger management, but also I need for the systems that make me angry to fucking burn.
Yeah. I guess that's all I'm trying to say. Is what she said.
Oh my God, was it about our economic system being inherently evil?
Yes, it was that.
Nailed it. Nailed
That
it.
you said, oh, it was like, you were like, okay, so all of these other things are evil. Like, people are less evil than like these things that perpetuate evil over and over and over again.
Yeah, like our economic
Like,
systems
for example,
and
if
patriarchy.
I'm going to tell you a demon is alive in this world, I'm going to point straight to those golden arches and I'm going to say it's right there.
Yeah. But they're poisoning us. I mean, Tyson and Purdue feed their chickens arsenic. So we're consuming arsenic every time you eat fucking Tyson dino nuggets. You're welcome for ruining that for you forever. Everybody.
But like, it's also not your fault. It's the fault of other people and other systems. And like, that's, I think, my major point is like, Anneliese was failed for so many reasons. Mm-hmm. But the Catholic priests being okay with her malnutrition, her dehydration, to do what? Prove that demons were real, prove that she was possessed, do what? They harmed her. Like, in the end, it was just abuse. And it sucks because, to be honest, like, what I see in... Okay, I've been in the psych ward 3 frickin' times, you guys. Whenever I've been in there and I've seen somebody who's, like, a lot worse than I am, and they're, like, actually screaming, demons, demons, oh my God, it's terrifying.
Oh, I bet.
It's not like easy for any person or staff member to calm them down because their reality is like perceiving that to be real.
Yeah.
And it can harm them maybe different than like, you know, you would imagine a demon to just like come out, pop out and say, hey,
yeah, it's not
now.
Like the projectile vomiting and spinning the head around, but they're perceiving a fucking threat, and that is stressing them out.
And imagine getting so scared that your heart stops or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, because your mind is seeing something, perceiving something different. And what I can say about being in this altered state like psychosis is that you can perceive things. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say, like, I don't want to, like, protect anybody or protect myself by, like, being too politically correct here. I think, like, I'd rather be like, okay, like, yes, like, in these altered states, just like being, like, on ayahuasca or whatever, you can perceive things that you would not normally otherwise be able to perceive. And that becomes a lot scarier if you're not prepared to perceive those things. That's why shamans are particularly trained to do things like ayahuasca with people and heal them through the things that they go through. Psychosis is seen as like this medical problem, and schizophrenia is the same way, epilepsy kind of, but like I've always argued that there has to be another way to heal these things that isn't what we're getting right now, because if I'm being honest, I've been more traumatized in the hospital going through psychosis, not then out of it, but just like it's the same. Nothing helped other than I was sedated for many days.
Yeah.
And that doesn't feel good either because it literally makes you sick.
Yeah. And you can't actually experience any of the like sensory or emotional things that we're literally here to experience being alive, you know? Like
that and the surveillance doesn't help. It's so I get why, but at the same time I'm like, it's so dehumanizing.
Yeah. Anyways, I can only imagine.
This is why I bring it up. It's not because I want to say, slay demons. It's just because, like, I feel like conversations like this need to be had so we can get to a better point of healing people for things that they're going through currently.
Yeah.
Still going through. I mean, Anneliese died, I think, in 70-something, but it doesn't mean that, you know, people everywhere aren't suffering from their own afflictions.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying demons, but it doesn't mean that you can't perceive another world, another realm that is influential on the physical one while you're under altered states either. So that's just my piece about it.
That for some reason reminded me that in Buddhism, Buddhism's got a great conceptions of hell. They have evolving hells that like there's new hells that get created for the new sins as like humans evolve and like we enter the modern day and stuff like that.
That's fucking terrifying. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Talk about the end times, bitch.
I know, right? Fucking Revelations can take a lesson. Fuck that. But actually, I love. They're also. I need to look up if this is real. Buddhism. Their main chief tempter is named Mara, but it's so the chief tempter is one of his like his role. Prince of Darkness or Evil One were cited as his fucking titles. So I'm like, wait, what? Prince of Darkness? That's not Lucifer? It all gets amalgamated because we've been dealing with evil fucking things. And it's like easier
That's the evolved hell we're in.
And like, but also it's just like, it's easier for the fucking powers that be and the church to be like it's easier to be like, it's demons instead of, or it's our economic system that has been built on the backs of people of color in this fucking country. Like, or our medical system is fucking for profit and they're gonna like, I knew somebody who like he had some fucking stomach problems and stuff like that. One doctor was running tests on him, and then another doctor comes in and is like, he says appendicitis, not what his fucking problem was. Not what his fucking problem was, but he like went into surgery for appendicitis. Like, oh my God. No, like, what? And then like that.
Because, like, I think that these systems make us complacent and complicit in evil.
That's why they want us to drink. That's why they're selling us booze. It's illegal to take a sip of alcohol in an alcohol commercial because the government knows that it's a neurotoxin and an addictive substance. But they're still selling us the product for, like, freedom of speech or like the market or whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Well, it's marketed mostly to youth too. Youth and football.
It's to keep us complacent so that we don't fucking burn the system down like it is our fucking right in the first 7 lines of the Constitution. It says that in the first legitimately 8 sentences in the Constitution. You can change, this is the government we think will work for us. You can change it when you need to.
Yeah, it's all fucked, but also...
T to B.
We always get here with it. We always get to the point where we're like...
We always get to the point where we're like, burn it down. I'm gonna go cry now.
I've often wondered... So, I have this book that I got on Kindle because a person I followed on TikTok, because she's like super into demonology, and she was like talking about a book recommendation, so I got it. The book is called like Chaos Magic 72 Demons of Goetia. It's like a book that you're supposed to summon and petition the demons, and it tells you like how exactly to do it and like what to do for each particular of the 72 demons. Is
it just the Lesser Key of Solomon? Like,
no, it's like a ritual book made by some Gnostics or something. Demonologists. I don't know.
Interesting. I wonder how much it sounds exactly like the Lesser Key of Solomon.
It has like,
which was literally a grimoire.
Yeah, it has like the sigil and then like exactly what to do and it has like every profile for every of the 72 demons. But people do petition these demons and get what they want from them or whatever, I guess, is what I've heard people claim. So that's fascinating to me because people still fuck with this shit. And I'm not saying like, I don't want to say either way. Because especially when we talked about the diamond part, I'm like, it's the same as me being like, I talk to ghosts. It's like the same. I think it's almost the same because it's like, ghosts are neither good nor bad to me. They're just human spirits.
Yeah.
And I run into an asshole on occasion.
Who doesn't? I do that every day in the real world.
That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Yeah. It's like, if you can get on a demon's good side, I guess more power to you. I think that's the point.
Yeah. I don't know. More power. If you can, like, God bless. I don't want to try.
I think it's too complicated of ritual magic for me.
I
And I'm not interested.
I'm not interested and don't want to invite that energy.
I don't want a demon to get suddenly on my bad side for something.
Yeah.
Because apparently, I don't think these demons are something you can just like one and done it. I think
No.
it's like you're into it until you die with this guy.
That's what I'm thinking too.
I'm not trying to be married to the spirits I talk to all the time.
Nope. I don't need it.
I'm more of a casual spirit conversationalist.
We talk casually.
Yeah.
I don't talk to enough ghosts, so I can't speak on this. All I know is I don't want to invite that much major, like, evil energy into my life. Like, even I probably am powerful enough to control it. I have too much ADHD, too.
That is the real shit.
I would lose focus, and shit would go sideways so fast.
I don't fuck with angels for the same reason. Did you know that?
Interesting.
I don't fuck with angels or demons. Both of them are kind of on my shit list.
Only
Sorry,
dead
guys.
humans.
No, I like a lot of different things. Angels and demons are kind of I'm backpedaling it because I think the implications of being a spirit communicator who also fucks with all these other crazy shits, it's wild. And I think people aren't ready for that conversation of like, can she also talk to demons? Can she also do this? Can she also do, it's like, I'm just here to say, yeah, but do with that information what you will.
I mean, if I wanted, probably, but I don't want to.
Yeah. And it's mostly because angels and demons are complicated to talk to.
Yeah.
They're harder to talk to.
Yeah. I bet they have they're not human, right? So they would have a completely different way of interacting and communicating. Like, at least with, like, dead humans, you're kind of like,
hey, dead human.
Hey, dead human. What's up?
What's up?
What's up, brah? How the afterlife? How is it hanging? Yeah. Why are you still here? What's up? What's up with that? Or like the spirits of Martians, which I also like. I want to talk to some alien spirits for sure.
I've been trying to talk to the aliens. They're hard too. It's not as complicated as demons and angels, but it's hard.
I would say it's probably be hard because they. I mean, demons have to have.
They're farther away.
I was gonna say farther away, but also like they probably speak like there's probably a completely different like language and different completely because you think about the Greys not having actual fucking mouths, right? So like they just they can communicate. I've been rewatching Hellier, and I remember the part where Dana was like, I forget which one she was under, but she was like fucking talking about how they're communicating in like tones and color and like feeling, you know?
Oh, she was under the God helmet, yeah.
The God helmet, thank you.
If I could get my hands on a fucking God helmet, you best believe I'm going under that shit. I'm going under so fast, dude. I'm volunteer as tribute for that God helmet. Put me under for however long. I will do it.
Like legit. Depending on how much they cost, that might be a birthday and or maybe Christmas present.
I don't think you can just get them.
God
helmets? I don't think you can just get those. I think they have to be made for you.
Really? I can't find one on Amazon?
I don't think so. I think the one that Greg and Dana has was specifically made for them by like somebody. Yeah, I'd have to meet Greg and Dana. Hello. Hi, Newkirks. I love you guys. I would love to volunteer as tribute to
go under that God helmet for 2 hours straight.
I think you guys would love how crazy it would get with me. And fun. I'm fun. This is my pitch.
I'm like, wait, can't we just meet them in Tombstone? Like, are they going to be speaking at this event in Tombstone that we're going to? Like,
they won't be at this one. No.
Oh, they won't? Okay.
They're touring right now.
It's Amanda. That's who's going to be at this one.
Yeah. And Amy Bruni. She runs the show.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. There's John Tenney, too. Both very famous paranormal investigators. So.
That's going to be exciting.
I'm salivating. Well, so our last little bit of demonology was spiritual hygiene. What did you have anything about spiritual hygiene? Do you have any quick tips or
Fucking get medicated for your ADHD.
note to self?
Note to self. No, for real, because I'm having so much trouble meditating. Actually, the other day, the kitten fucking laid on my shoulder and purred the whole time while I meditated.
Oh my god.
And it was actually so soothing and like amazing. That did actually help me focus, was like having something physically on me to like
zone out to.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Spiritual hygiene, is that like I mean, that's the wasn't I supposed to sanctify myself when I got back from my vacation?
Well, I've always seen spiritual hygiene as the same as regular hygiene. It's just instead of cleaning your body, you're cleaning your spirit, and you are doing it as if you were doing the dishes, showering, brushing your teeth. You're doing it a lot. You're doing it all the time.
Breath work. As Holly Whitaker would recommend, she recommends breath work at the top of every hour in Quit Like a Woman.
And meditation. I always recommend meditation for the beginning of your day or the end of your day before you go to sleep. Plus spiritual showers, spiritual baths. I take a spiritual bath at least once a week as my shower. So I'll just like get in the shower and I meditate in the shower as I'm cleaning my body, and that's just a way to connect my spirit in the shower. Cleaning your tools, your altar, making sure all that's dust free, cleaned off, charged how you want it to be charged. Your tools, your crystals, your altar items, your space.
Should probably cleanse my tarot decks more often.
Your tarot decks for sure need a cleanse every once in a while, and you can talk to them to see what level they're at, you know. So that's my ish on spiritual hygiene. It's very important. I won't understate the importance of it. I think if you're going into any spiritual practice, you'll want to do spiritual hygiene because honestly, just like regular hygiene, it does feel good. Like showering or
cleanliness is godliness, as my father always used to say.
Yeah.
But it feels good. Yeah, it does feel, it feels nice. You feel clean. You feel fresh.
I think that the reason I brought up spiritual hygiene in the demonology episode is because like if you know, at the basic level of where you're at spiritually, like, just dust yourself off, you know, make sure that you're disconnecting from other energies and maintaining your sanctity, how Katie said, because that will help you stay clear of things you don't want in your spiritual space. So.
My own anger is something I don't want in my spiritual space.
We need to talk about transmutation. That's another call for another time, so... Any final words from my beautiful friend, Katie?
One final, now that we've gotten to the end, let's bring it back to the beginning. Let's revisit again my favorite piece of writing ever. Chapter 34 of East of Eden. These are the closing lines, and I think it's worth keeping in mind. We have only one story. All novels, all poetry are built on the never-ending contest in ourselves of good and evil. And it occurs to me that evil must constantly respawn, while good, while virtue, is immortal. Vice has always a new, fresh, young face, while virtue is venerable as nothing else in the world is.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Files from the Other Side. You can find us on Instagram at Files from the Other Side. Share this podcast if you like it, and do not forget to subscribe.
And we'll see you on the other side.